we have to start here because it is the big story of the day. It's the story that won't go away. And we talked about it before the show, Rob. And neither one of us, you don't feel good talking about this, but you have to. Antonio Brown back in the news. And it really seems, Rob, we both feel like he's got some serious issues. And the reason we say that, I mean, obviously there was the way he behaved about the helmet with the Oakland Raiders. And then, going off on Mike Mayock and some of the social media stuff that came out.
The lashing out stuff.
The lashing out. And now he went on social media today and was like two different people. And here goes Rob G. Tell us, let me give the backstory. There was a story that broke today, Josina Anderson, our friend, that he's going to meet with the NFL next week.
Because they had already talked to the female, involved in this.
Accused him of sexual assault.
Right, and now they were going to finally hear his side of the story.
Yes. And so that came out earlier today. And then AB goes on social media and says this.
That's right. About an hour after that news broke from Josina Anderson, this is AB on Twitter. He says, quote, "Imagine conforming to a system, giving it 100% to see them treat me like this unfairly. Making money off my sweat and blood, F the NFL. I'll never play in that S. Treat black people the worst. Clear my name and go F yourself." End quote.
All right, so he comes out with that. Now,
what's the problem? Oh, I'm sorry.
And then what? How much later, Rob G, did he come out with his next social media post?
This was maybe like 5 or 6 hours later.
Okay.
I'm guessing he had time to speak to his agent, maybe calm down, drink some tea.
His agent needs to be living with him.
Because now his
agent needs to have access to his account. His agent, mom, best friend, somebody that cares about him.
Well,
needs to be able to look at his post before he posts them.
Well, Chris, based on the way this reads, you tell me if you think he wrote this himself. He says, quote, "I'm just very frustrated right now with the false allegations."
Stop, he didn't write it.
"And slander to my name."
Stop, he didn't write it.
"I love football and I miss it. I just want to play, and I'm very emotional about that. I'm determined to make my way back to the NFL ASAP."
His agent wrote that. No, but Rob, here's what we want to get at. Because in addition to all this, now granted, it's before all this happened today, but Adam Schefter and all the NFL insiders have been reporting that there are still NFL teams very much interested in Antonio Brown.
I don't even doubt that.
The Seahawks, before they signed Josh Gordon, looked into AB. And Russell Wilson was pushing them to sign AB. And so it's going, we got some breaking news. That's why we're a little distracted. The Clippers, remember yesterday we talked about the load management with Kawhi Leonard. They have been fined $50,000 for statements on Kawhi Leonard. The NBA is saying that the statements contradicted, the notion that this is an injury.
Which is what they put out and agreed to, that they agreed with the Clippers, and now Doc said some different stuff in the press conference, and now Doc is the one. That's why, Doc said some stuff, and now the league is going back. See, this is a slippery slope here. We're gonna get into this as well, right? Later on in the program.
We're gonna get into this.
We'll finish talking about. Yeah, we will
a little bit later.
But I'm not surprised by this because it's a slippery slope, Chris.
It's a very simple. Look,
we'll talk
about it because this is so much to say about it. But getting back to AB, Rob. First of all, let me say this. If AB is indeed cleared of this sexual assault, if he's cleared of all the other things, and he needs some type of mental evaluation, I would love to see him back in the NFL. Not because he's a great player. Yeah, I'd like to see him play. But people deserve second chances.
No doubt about it. And the NFL is filled with second chances of Chris.
As bad as he's been.
Not as bad as some other guys.
Right. At this point, he hasn't been as bad as some other, unless he's guilty of, the things he's accused of.
And to this point, he's not guilty of anything. Man is innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
So to this point, other guys have had felonies, have beat up women, children, drunk driving, vehicular homicide, all kinds of stuff. So before everybody goes, oh, he shouldn't be able to play because he goes off on Twitter, they have bent over backwards for a lot of people to allow them to play football. I'm with you. I don't have a problem if this stuff gets cleared up,
right? And
he's exonerated, or the NFL looks and says we really can't go forward. We don't have enough significant, substantial evidence to say he's definitely guilty of this or not. Then he's free to play, and he's a talented football player. And if you're going to bend over backwards for other guys, who's the guy the Cowboys picked up who was convicted?
Not Greg Hardy.
Yeah, Greg Hardy, who was convicted.
Right.
Wasn't in a court of law, and look, they signed him.
And we know Ezekiel Elliott was not convicted of anything.
Right.
But there was a lot of evidence that said he did this, and they went full bore to bat for him.
Exactly.
And he was suspended for 6 games, so the league thinks he did something. And so he's playing, and everybody loves him, and I like him. He's a great running back. But this is the point, Rob. Anything, there's really not much you can do to not have a chance to play in the NFL. You have to do some, premeditated murder. Anything other than that, and you going to get a chance if you can play.
I know it sounds crazy, what? You're right. I totally agree. That it has to be that heinous. Other than that, there have been some bad guys in the NFL who have done some bad things to people, and they've gotten second and third chances. So
that's why we're saying with Antonio Brown, we both are in agreement that if he can get all this stuff behind him, if he's innocent, then we'd love to see him back in the NFL. Obviously, a lot of teams would love to have him. And what we want to throw out to you guys is, would you want him on your team? I don't know if you're a Raiders fan. Well, Raiders, I think that ship has sailed. Patriots, that ship has sailed. You'd love to have him in New England if you're a Patriots fan.
They need a
it would be
wide
different
receiver.
if they had him. Things would. They're obviously still a great team, but things would be much different if they had him. Aaron Rodgers, I know we talked about Green Bay should have gone after him before.
Dude,
this dude is one of the best receivers in the game, and that's one reason this is so sad. But we're throwing it out to you, 877-99 on Fox.
If the Browns went after him, the only problem, that would be another receiver that Baker Mayfield couldn't go to.
Honestly, one team I'm going to say that doesn't need him is the Cleveland Browns.
Soon, bro.
That's the one team that does not need him.
Because they can't get the ball to the two guys they have.
No, they can't. All right, 877-99 on Fox. Your turn to weigh in. Would you want AB on your squad, assuming he's cleared of all these charges? Let's start with Jacob in New Mexico. Jacob, you're on with Chris and Rob.
Hey, what up, guys? Thanks for taking my call.
No problem.
New Mexico representing Broncos country out here, and heck yes, I want him on my team. Hey, and in the words of the genius Rob Parker, Chris Broussard, stop it, man. Last time we were talking about
that's
AB.
my saying. I
stole it.
He stole my saying. So your genius is a thief. He's a vernacular thief.
Oh, wow.
Stop it, man. Last time we were
it.
talking about AB, you were saying, oh, the standard has been set. We need to suspend him. Stop it, man.
Well, I don't know if I said suspension, but I did say the way he was disrupting teams, I wouldn't want him. If I was in Oakland and he was doing all that stuff, I couldn't. You got to go.
But you got to. But
that's all I'm saying.
But you will admit, though, that people are still. I do not doubt that if he comes through this and is eligible to play, he will sign with the team.
Somebody will sign him. However, if he keeps up the shenanigans,
I just think guys have done worse.
Don't you think they let him? Yeah, but still.
No, I understand, Chris.
How can I run my football squad?
I get it.
If you causing all these problems.
All right, Tyson in Washington. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Tyson?
What's up, guys? Thanks for taking my call. Appreciate it.
Yep.
No doubt.
Okay, so assuming that he's innocent, all these allegations are false, one could make a pretty strong argument that having this type of false slander to your name could make you do some crazy things. And if you think about it, he's always been a little bit fiery, maybe over the top fiery on the sideline with teammates, whatever. But he has never had this bipolar type persona until really these allegations started coming up, assuming they came up when he was in Oakland. So if he's cleared of that, maybe that it kind of calms him down and he can kind of forget about it, go back to playing football.
Tyson, your point is well taken, and I get it. He's an emotional guy, right? All this stuff is going bad in his life,
right?
And I'm not saying I don't know with the woman. Say it's totally made up,
right?
Would you want to go ballistic, Chris, if somebody made something up about you and put you? You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm with you.
If it's proven that he's exonerated and innocent, you could buy in and say, I went ballistic because I couldn't believe that I knew this woman since
my
college.
livelihood was at stake. Here's the only problem. I agree with you, and I agree with Tyson's premise.
Right.
Here's the only problem. That charge that laid by this woman, I think her last name is Taylor,
I know
the friend of his in college, that came after everything that happened in Oakland.
No, I get that.
So we can't put that stuff on it. But you're right. Well, you could put like these tweets
like the
today.
lashing out when he's just
since then. You could put everything on it, but he did a lot of stuff before then.
No doubt.
That you couldn't put on the charges. Let's go to Hector in Las Vegas. Hector, you on with Chris and Rob?
Hey, thanks for having me on. Yeah, I'm a Steeler fan, and I'm thinking, if they were willing to have Le'Veon, to consider bringing Le'Veon Bell back, well, why not bring Brown back? At least him and Roethlisberger will have something more in common now.
That's wow.
Well,
wow, Hector.
Le'Veon wasn't quite as disruptive as AB, but yeah, he had his issues too.
But not the same.
And let's face it, I mean, a lot of people raving over the job that Mike Tomlin did with him. So,
well, now when you look at it and think that very little came out, or
it looks like
almost
Mike
nothing.
Tomlin deserves a Nobel Peace Prize.
Other than when he did and Tomlin didn't know what was going to Facebook Live while he was speaking.
Right?
How is he going to know that's going on, or somebody has their phone going?
I would just, if I had AB on my team, it would just be like you would not know if you're gonna wake up in the morning every single night you went to bed. There's a chance I might wake up in the morning and who knows what in the world has happened.
No, that's a tough life to live. Austin in Kentucky, you're on The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, guys. First of all, I just want to say you guys have the best show out there. I love getting to talk to you guys.
Man, thank you, brother.
Austin, that's nice.
Absolutely. I just want to say, I think me personally, I would probably take a shot on him. All off-the-field stuff aside, Antonio Brown is one of the best players at his position that we've seen in a very long time. So that being said, I think I would give him a shot, but I'd have to let him know up front that if any of the off-the-field stuff causes a distraction, you got to go. Antonio Brown, to me, hasn't proved that he is focused on playing the game of football yet.
Right, I agree.
As an owner, that's what you got to want. But people are acting like he's some washed-up football player, and people are quick to forget how great he is.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what?
Football shouldn't even be in question.
Right, and Austin, that's a great point because people act like, just see he can play.
He's great.
When he went to New England, did he not cash out right away? I mean, you saw.
There are only a few. For all the really good receivers out there are only a handful that are definite difference makers. Only a handful. And he's one of them. There's no question he's one of them. Let's go to Eric in Kalamazoo. Eric, you're on with The Odd Couple.
Hey, what's going on, Rob, Chris?
What's up, brother?
How you?
I wanted to call last night about the Harbaugh thing, but I said, no, I'm going to lay back. But with Brown, man, I seen how they did Dennis Rodman when they couldn't beat him, all types of other stuff messing with him. They kind of hated him out the league. This guy, if you can't beat him head up, I want to see that talent out there. These things came about. We heard about some strange things that happened in Oakland. Take a guy from the Midwest, from Central Michigan, from Pittsburgh Steelers to put him out west. Things not going to necessarily go right. Him and the guy had some words. He said some stuff. He said some stuff obviously because he saw some stuff.
Eric,
sometimes when you introduce a guy,
let's not just not make straight up excuses for him. I mean, I hear where you're coming from.
I'm not making excuses.
You saying because he moved from the Midwest to the West, that explains all the volatile things he did out in Oakland? That sounds like an excuse.
Oakland.
He should just all of us are responsible for our actions.
No doubt.
And so I hear where you're coming from,
and we believe that he deserves a chance if he's exonerated.
Right.
If there's nothing out there and the police aren't going to come arrest him, or the NFL says, you know what, it's a he said, she said, and we really don't have evidence.
Right.
We really don't. It's hard to condemn somebody if it's just that. Thanks for the call, Eric. We appreciate the support. Connor in Kentucky, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
Rob, I'm the Connor Buchanan that has the same birthday as you.
Oh, I just saw you on Twitter, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, January 10th. We're Capricorns.
Absolutely, Capricorn brothers. Now, my thing on Antonio Brown is, I'm a quote you, Rob. No way, no how. Listen, he is an awesome wide receiver, but he's a child. You cannot. First off, you can't yell at. You have Robert Kraft, whatever he did. Yeah, you can't go at him on Twitter. You can't be on Twitter and try to be a professional athlete and be saying all this stuff, just like the one Browns guy who was what was his name? Who was threatening all those people on Twitter.
Yeah. What was his name? Yeah, Jermaine Whitehead.
Jermaine Whitehead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta be professional. If you're gonna make that much money, you gotta be a professional. I'm sitting here in Kentucky. I'd give anything to be able to play in the professional, in the National Football League, and just be able to live out my dream of playing like that. And he's wasting all of his talent, wasting every bit of God-given ability that he has because he wants to be a child. What do you all think?
No, I mean, it's right. I mean, I would want to put him through a mental evaluation, not just for his own sake. So maybe we can see what the root of the problem is. But his behavior has definitely been crazy. And so he needs to go through something like that. Rob, it seems like, too, some of these younger generation guys, maybe because they grew up on social media, maybe because, stuff they watch, listen to, you can say whatever you want. Some of them, it seems like they feel like they can say whatever the heck they want.
Nah, you can.
Like
you can,
right.
But you're held accountable because you work for somebody.
But they don't want to be accountable. Like,
No.
I can say whatever. Like, when I hear Antonio talk about free, like, we're all free, but you're not free to just say whatever the heck you want to say without repercussions.
We work for Fox Sports Radio. There are guidelines in certain things, right? I mean, we know that going in, don't you?
No, yeah, you do.
Okay, so
none of us live in a vacuum. None of us.
None of us. Zero. Look at what when we're going to get to this later. Doc Rivers was at a press conference. He said what he thought. Guess what? He just got fined $50,000. Right?
That's the second time Doc. Doc needs to. He gonna be like, I'm gonna stop talking about Kawhi.
Look at all the money I'm losing.
Hey, it's the Odd Couple. I'm Chris. He is Rob, and we want to encourage all of you to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
That's right. You can listen to us on the radio, and now you can watch us as well, and it's fun.
No question about it. And remember, oh yeah.